This video is sponsored by NordVPN. What's going on, guys? This is Sam. Today we have a ton of 2018 iPhone rumors to talk about. New details about the LCD iPhone 9, new details about the two OLED models, including the iPhone 10 Plus. Some crazy storage options could be coming. Plus, we also have some information about AirPower. So just a little bit ago, TrendForce released a brand new report sharing a ton of details about the 2018 iPhone storage capacities, features, so much to talk about here. I'll link their article down below as always. Unfortunately, I have not followed TrendForce extensively in the past, and they haven't been super active in this year's iPhone rumor cycle, so I don't know how credible all this is going to be, but a lot of what they're talking about makes sense, and it lines up with what a lot of other analysts have been suggesting and analyzing for the 2018 iPhones. First off, very exciting, something that users have been waiting on since the Apple Pencil was announced. You guessed it, Apple Pencil support not for all the 2018 iPhones, but both of the OLED models. So the iPhone 10 Plus right here, in addition to the second generation iPhone 10, are finally said to support the Apple Pencil, a feature that has previously been limited just to the iPad line. Now, I have no doubts that if Apple wanted to, they could easily bring the Apple Pencil to the iPhone 9 just because it's going to have a fast processor and a really good screen on it. But because this is going to be lower cost, Apple is reserving that functionality for the two higher end OLED models, probably starting at above $900. We do have some new pricing in this video as well. But for the iPhone 10 Plus especially, the Apple Pencil makes so much sense. On the 5.8-inch OLED screen of the iPhone 10, it's still a little bit small, but 0.7 inches larger at 6.5 inches. I mean, Apple Pencil makes sense. Like, using it, I could actually see myself doing because the screen is so big here. Anything smaller than the iPhone 10 Plus, though, with the 6.5-inch screen, I definitely find it hard and kind of awkward to use or interact with. But because the screen's so big, really good for notes, really good for drawing, you can totally sketch some stuff up pretty easily on here, and it makes me question why Apple has never brought the Apple Pencil to a Plus iPhone in the past. But hopefully this year, we should finally be seeing Apple Pencil support on the iPhone. After that, TrendForce goes on to talk about storage capacities for the 2018 iPhone lineup. They say that for the iPhone 9, the lower cost model, it's going to remain at 64 and 256 gigabytes respectively, but there's some very exciting news for anybody on the second generation iPhone 10 or iPhone 10 Plus that has ever felt the 256 gigabytes of storage was just not enough for you. Apple is said to be bringing 512 gigabytes of storage, which is absolutely insane. You're going to have a 6.5-inch massive screen, possibly 512 gigabytes of internal storage on the iPhone 10 Plus. This phone is going to be ridiculous. Now, I'm all for Apple adding options, but 512 gigabytes on a cell phone feels a bit excessive to me unless you are exclusively dealing with photos and videos and documents on your phone and practically nowhere else. If Apple made the change, if they brought 512 gigabytes to the two OLED models this year, the higher end iPhones would have half the space of the professional iMac Pro that sits behind me and double the space of the brand new MacBook Pro that I just bought. I've got 256 on the MacBook Pro, 1 terabyte on the iMac Pro behind me. I could not imagine having that much storage in the palm of my hand. And while I'm all about Apple adding options because I like to see them moving storage forward internally, I don't know if anyone really needs 512 gigabytes on a cell phone. I have no doubt that people will want to buy it because they'll have the highest end iPhone, the top of the line, and it's definitely appealing. I just know for a fact I would never in a million years fill 512 gigabytes of storage on a phone. On a computer, I can do it pretty easily. I've got big video files, but on a phone, that's just too much space. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. Would you buy an iPhone with 512 gigabytes, half a terabyte of storage? There's going to be even more benefits though if you go with one of the more expensive OLED iPhones this year. In addition to having possibly more storage inside if you want to pay for it, Apple Pencil support, there's also going to be an extra gigabyte of RAM. Now, Apple has really good RAM management in general, so 3 gigabytes for me on the iPhone 10 has never been an issue, but if you go with the second generation iPhone 10 or this iPhone 10 Plus later this year, they are said to have 4 gigabytes of RAM on the inside. The LCD iPhone 9, that'll be a little bit cheaper, maybe up to $300 cheaper than the iPhone 10 Plus, will have 3 gigabytes. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference. I'm sure there'll be some excellent tests on YouTube showing how much better the phone can be with an extra gigabyte of RAM. But honestly, Apple's RAM management has been so good for me in the past that I've never understood why Android phones offer 4 or 8 or 6 gigabytes of RAM. Like 4 seems like a pretty good option, but 6 or 8 seems kind of excessive for a cell phone. Once again, like that's my same mentality with storage. I just don't think you need that much in a phone. Maybe I'm getting old though, I don't know. Those are all the main details that TrendForce shared about the 2018 iPhone lineup. So far, it's definitely making the OLED models look a lot more appealing than the LCD model, but also the LCD model is said to come in a ton of new colors, so you also have to weigh that in there. But TrendForce did not stop there. They also talked about pricing, and largely, they just reaffirmed what we'd already been hearing. There's no bombshell here, nothing crazy or out of the blue. They say that this iPhone, the LCD iPhone 9, going to be a little bit cheaper than the OLED. It's going to start between $699 and $749. We'd been hearing $699. It'll probably be in that range somewhere. And the OLED iPhone is going to start between $899 and $949. So to stay safe, I'm sure they're giving themselves a $50 margin of error. And those prices sound very realistic to me. I think Apple could go up to $949 to start the second generation iPhone 10 and then maybe price the iPhone 10 Plus at $1,049. I also still really feel like $999 for the iPhone 10 Plus, $899 for the second generation iPhone 10, and $699 for the iPhone 9 with an LCD screen would be very fair pricing. And although $700, $900, $1,000, still a lot of money, it's definitely nothing to be unexpected from a company that has a reputation for selling very good but very expensive products. Now, whether you're getting a new iPhone this year or you're keeping your current iPhone, I partnered up with NordVPN to make sure you stay safe when you're browsing online. Using a VPN service allows you to encrypt all of your traffic going out, coming to you, so that no one can see your data, see what you're doing online, especially in an age of privacy where companies like Facebook don't really seem to value it, and then companies like Apple really do seem to value your privacy. It's hard to know how to actually keep your data safe online, and a service like NordVPN allows you to browse the web in a manner that you're comfortable with. Regardless of where you live in the world, there are over 4,800 servers worldwide. They just keep adding more and more every time I work with them on a new sponsored video because they're seriously dedicated to keeping you safe online. There are so many features here. P2P sharing allowed, double data encryption for increased anonymity, onion over VPN servers, and of course, there's unlimited bandwidth. So if you're interested in signing up, check out my link down below in the description. They've been a really great company to work with, and they really care about you and what you're doing online. All right, the last iPhone rumor that I want to share with you comes courtesy of this website. I always struggle with the name here. I think it's Sean D2. They say that all 2018 iPhones coming out this year are going to support wireless charging. At first glance, that sounds obvious because the 2017 iPhone supported wireless charging from the iPhone 8 to the iPhone 10, and it was really great. We didn't know for sure because a long time ago, we heard that the iPhone 9, the new, cheaper LCD model coming in 2018, could actually have a metal back. And no one had really commented on it until this point, but it's really great to hear now. Like, all the phones are going to have wireless charging. Even if you opt for the cheaper $700-ish iPhone 9 this year, you're still getting wireless charging. That feature is not going away. However, we were hearing that 3D Touch could be going away with the LCD iPhone 9. That's something that I think two sources reported a while back, and then we just haven't heard anything else about. So hopefully Apple has found a way to integrate 3D Touch on the iPhone 9, because I know that's a feature that a lot of people really enjoy. All right, before we move on to news about AirPower, I want to show you this image of an iPhone right here. Actually, just kidding. This is a new Motorola phone. I've seen a lot of shameless ripoffs in the past year or so since the iPhone 10 has come out, but this just goes to show you Apple took a risk with the iPhone 10 design. Not everybody likes the notch, but if you take a look at many phones that have come out this year, almost all of them have a notch, which is kind of crazy, except for like Samsung's Galaxy lineup, which I really respect. I'm glad Samsung has sort of forged their own phone design rather than just looking at what another company is doing and directly copied off of it, because Motorola here has directly copied the iPhone 10. This is not original thought. This is not original design. This is literally just an iPhone 10 with some different specs inside and a Motorola logo on the back. So I just thought this was kind of interesting, and I wanted to show you right here. And finally, setting iPhone news to the side, you guys remember this product right here? This is actually called the AirPower. Apple announced this in what feels like 1984, never to be released yet. They actually announced it just around a year ago in September of 2017 alongside the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 10 and the Apple Watch Series 3, also an AirPods wireless charging case, which Apple said was coming at some point in 2018. A lot of us assumed it was coming sooner, but Apple ran into some production and heating issues with AirPower. According to Sean D2, it's coming in the fall. Bloomberg has reported the same thing, likely at the 2018 iPhone event, and you'll be able to set your Apple Watch or your iPhone anywhere on here and it will charge. That's what sets this wireless charger apart. That's why so many people, I think, you're still pretty excited for it. It's not like the traditional charger where there's a specific location for the Apple Watch. Like usually if you find them on Amazon, some knockoff AirPowers, you have to set the Apple Watch in one particular place where the specific Apple Watch charger is. You can set the Apple Watch on here anywhere and it is said to start charging just like your iPhone would, which is really going to set this wireless charger apart. And I never thought I'd be excited for a wireless charger, but this definitely sounds kind of cool. Also, the speculative pricing here. This is the first time I think we've really heard what this could cost. $150 here in the United States. So that's a reasonable price. I think that's what I predicted a few months ago. I think $150 for a wireless charger is unquestionably a lot of money, but it's also a wireless charger coming from Apple. So I guess we shouldn't be too surprised. All right, that's all I've got for you in this video. Those are the latest iPhone leaks and rumors, some news on AirPower. If you enjoyed watching, drop a like down below, hit subscribe for more in the future, and of course, check out the link below if you want to sign up for NordVPN. For now, I've been Sam. I hope you're doing great, and I'll talk to you in my next video.